What's up, everybody? Welcome again to This Week in Gaming, episode 20. How are we on episode 20 already? It's crazy.
It's so fast.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, looking to hundreds more, I hope. But first, as always, I'm John at Force Inept.
I'm Mike at Srej.
And returning.
And I'm Deion at Super Nerd Fresh. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
He's
Back from the honeymoon. Sorry, ladies. He's
Wow,
taken.
wow.
He was taken before that, but now it's official.
Don't get me in trouble.
I don't know how that works. Something like that. Pharaoh, welcome to the
Thanks,
channel.
bro.
And yes, welcome
Thank
back,
you,
Super.
Pharaoh.
Congratulations. From all of us, from the whole squad, us and the squad, like in the Discord, and YouTube, and Instagram, and Twitter, and Patreon, and all the things. Everybody congratulates you. But if you're not part of those yet, click any of those links below because you should be a part of all those things. Check out the Discord especially. Yeah. Join us, play games with us, talk to us, give us shit, send us stuff. No one does that. You don't need to do that. Archer Farms still has not replied, by the way. A little upset by that. Not even a rejection email. Didn't even bother wasting their time with it.
Yeah, so I was watching the previous ones while I was on the honeymoon, and I think what we should do is anytime we do a squad mode, we just like do a shout out and then you start like even taking like screenshots and just like replying to them like every time we do anything with them.
Start tweeting at
You're
them.
going to sponsor us whether you want to or not.
Right. We're just gonna keep bothering them and then
Damn straight.
give me a T-shirt at least.
I'm totally fine
Tagging
with
them in
that.
all the videos, that'd be amazing.
I'm going to just tweet a picture of the Archer Farms trail mix and going live now at twitch.tv/LightlySaltedSquad.
Oh, that's true too, because I can add the hashtags on the YouTube videos. And
Yes.
Like, why
They'll
does
be like,
hashtag Archer Farms
what?
have all of these slightly salted squad?
Who
videos?
searches
It started as a
hashtag Archer
joke,
Farms?
Then we fell in love.
Yes, so we got derailed there. We love Archer Farm, but squad mode, post those on YouTube. This Week in Gaming, we post on YouTube, Castbox, everything. Again, links down below. And as always, if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime. Make sure you're getting your free games, your free bits, and if you want to sub to us, we'd appreciate it. Free sub every 30 days. Otherwise, give it to somebody in the community. Pharaoh Games, Horror Guy, plenty of good ones out there that we are close friends with, not to mention, others. But, like, does Shroud really need, like, another one? Come on. Throw it over here. I think that's enough of my spiel. You guys got anything else before we get into the actual news?
Catching up on some of the YouTube, so just keep an eye out on that. And probably by tomorrow, we'll have the last 3 eps. So if you missed anything, check out the YouTube. And they're on Castbox already, so if you want to listen to that, you got it there.
Awesome. Actually, one last thing. Not really relevant to gaming at all. Actually, just kidding. I'm going to make it related to gaming. In a week, just kidding, a month, I'm going to be going to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago and getting into this panel for Jedi Fallen Order done by Respawn Entertainment, which is coming out later this year. I'm going to do my damnedest to get on that panel. But
His damnedest.
I got my 5-day pass. I got my shirt. I got my lanyard. I'm so pumped and ready to go. But until that time, and hopefully I'll live stream a little bit of that, I think we'll just jump into the news.
Roll it.
Okay, and the macros worked. Fantastic. Okay, we've got a packed agenda tonight. We're talking Xbox, we're talking PlayStation. They're both of their Nintendo Directs. We're doing Apex, we're doing tons of stuff. So we're going to kind of fast fire through some of these. First of all, as always, Fallout. Fallout 76, part of the Wilds of Appalachia, whatever it's called, the new season they added the survival mode, and apparently it's impossible to do anything unless you're level 100. So that sucks for anybody that, quit the game like I did, / Super Nerd Fresh did, and wants to get back into that mode. So you pretty much need to level outside of that and then get into survival. But am interested in checking it out with the new season pass and stuff.
What's the level cap? Is it
100? Yes. You need to be max level of 100, which is no small feat in and of itself. The fact that people actually stuck around and got to level 100 is impressive. Yeah. So there's a Fallout. Not much this week for it. But segueing into more Bethesda news, and I'm not sure if T-Gabs is in the chat, but this is big news for him. I know he's been talking about it ever since they released it. But Bethesda is bringing Rage 2, Doom Eternal, Fallout 76, and more to Steam. I mean, no one really cares about anything except, I would guess, Rage 2 to be a little bit. But not Epic Game Store. So for T-Gabs out there, no Steam, no buy. He can buy all these Bethesda games.
Enjoy.
Now, when we got 76, I can't remember. Did we buy that through...
I believe that was only
Bethesda?
Yeah, only through the Bethesda launcher at launch, and then I have to assume that based on all the challenges they've had with the game, they're probably like, okay, maybe we should try to get this out there to more people for cheaper.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I think it's a good call. I guess get back on Steam. You know, and yeah, I don't know if there's that much news, but yeah, I guess it's not an Epic Game Store. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It's just interesting that they came out and they're very specific about it. So there's clearly some lines being drawn in the sand here. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So we'll keep bringing the news as far as Epic Game Store and its attempt to overthrow Steam, or at least compete with it. Getting on to the next one that I think might be replacing Fallout, honestly. Anthem.
Yeah.
Good old Anthem. And sorry for the blown up view of this. Reddit does not work well when you full screen things. So there's been a lot of backlash, obviously, with Anthem, as we've talked about, as far as looting and things like that. There's a huge update, 1.0.4, that came out earlier this week. I want to say Monday. And there's already tons of complaints about it, as far as they've done a lot to try to improve it, but then they added more loot, but then broke loot in the fact that they took it away from guarantees from certain places. They made it so other people can pick up loot for you. So then, I don't know, that just seems like kind of a weird complaint. I'm not sure how that would even work, honestly, but so there's always outrage right now with Anthem, and I think obviously being part of EA, that's probably contributing to it a little bit, but it has definitely become this quarter's Fallout 76, seems like. So
yeah, players are very sensitive when it comes to actually, it's worth them being sensitive about when it comes to loot in a game where you're kind of, I want to say fully grinding for gear, but that's a big part of the game. So when you start to mess with things like that, you're going to trigger people.
Oh, yeah.
And especially for something that was supposed to be an attempt to fix things, you just made things worse. Yeah, and it's interesting. And I know like Pharaoh's a big advocate of, not a big advocate, but he played a lot of Anthem. And so, it's a problem, to say the least. And hopefully they looks like what Pharaoh just said is they resolved most of the things from this morning. But
that's good.
It's still
so it's
still not a good look.
It's good. Anthem, their team, we were at Post from last week, but it seems like they are dedicated and trying to make this better. But it seems like every little patch they're at least missing something that's outraging those hardcore fans, which they need at this point to stay around. Like, reading one of these notes is, just received 3 blue embers and 2 purples from a stronghold chest. LOL. I have no idea what that means, but clearly some frustration. Posted 22 hours ago on Reddit, and 2,400 upvotes. Well, at 2,400 for a score, that means upvotes and downvotes. So yeah, so it's getting traction. Unfortunately, it tends to be in the negative sense right now. Hopefully they fix it. I want to get back to it and try it at some point, but just not at the moment. But a game I am excited for, transition, Borderlands 3. Tomorrow, that is to say, Thursday, March 28th, for those of you watching or listening later, at 2 p.m. Eastern, Borderlands.com will be doing a live stream at PAX East for Borderlands 3, presumably. I can't imagine it's anything else at this point. So, yeah. The little intro video they did, super well done. It kind of comes together out of showing all these little clips and then comes back and it's like the big mask and the vault symbols are everywhere in it. And yeah, I'm freaking pumped. I never beat Borderlands 1 or 2, but enjoyed playing them. And if this has multiplayer, which I assume it will, I'm all in.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the main draw for the first two for me. So, also VR.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this question: what are you looking for in this Borderlands? That the other ones didn't have. We know the same core staple of multiplayer and that type of co-op capabilities and stuff like that. A lot of heavy looting. But what are you looking for in this one that's different?
Mike?
You guys are about to out me, but I didn't actually play the first two.
So anything.
Sort of. Yeah, basically. So I did play the first one. I played it for a few hours. You guys all know my history as far as shooters are concerned. I am literally the worst. I have a plaque on my wall here that talks about how bad I am. So I didn't really get too into it. And now as I've gotten better and I've been practicing more and my aim is getting better, I think I can spend more time enjoying the game. So I'm excited just to see it. It's hard to go back and play Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2 because they're a little bit older. So to have a fresh take on a Borderlands game but still get that traditional Borderlands flavor, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And actually, real quick, Pharaoh's saying all the details have already been leaked on 4chan. So avoid 4chan if you want to stay away.
I ain't going on 4chan to find out those details.
I'm an adult. I have better things to do.
But other people do AMAs on 8chan, and you guys don't have a problem with that. Check back like 3 episodes, and you'll know what I was talking about.
Also, these Matos, I assume you're saying, what the fuck is wrong with me?
These my broke toes.
Yes, these my broken toes. The answer is, I'm not really sure. I don't know.
I will also take these Matos WTF is wrong with you and throw that to Pharaoh for I hope you're not on 4chan right now digging through deets.
That's fair.
Right.
It can be for both.
What were you doing on 4chan?
Don't ask. So for me, it's almost similar to Mike, where I didn't beat the other ones and I enjoyed them, but I was late to the game on them. I didn't play either one until maybe the past 3 years, somewhere in there. And then more recently, Borderlands 2 in VR, which is good, but the aiming mechanic is actually very similar to Resident Evil 7, where it's like you look to aim, which kind of bugs me. But really, if they just reskin Borderlands 2 with newer graphics and more people were playing it, so I could do that, I really never had a true multiplayer experience in those games. That's what I'm most excited for. So new graphics, like that cell shading, but updated visuals, cell shading. I don't know. I love the art style. I love the loot mechanic. How there's, I don't know, how ever 100 million options or whatever they said for Borderlands 2, and just all that stuff, and being able to play characters / classes how you want, and just the humor in the story. That's I think why you mainly play that game, is that story and a little bit of crudeness to it, and yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I did play the Telltale Borderlands game. I've actually played all of the Telltale games, and the Borderlands one is my favorite, even over the Walking Dead series. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and the world itself was a lot of fun. So, assuming these other Borderland games have that same feel, I'm really excited to play it.
Yeah, and that's when I played. It was on a PlayStation Plus, I think, free for a while. So I played again, game I'd never finished, but really did enjoy, and that was actually the first Telltale game I ever played. So it's cool. Yeah. Okay. Next, going into a new date for a game that I've been very excited for, and I'll talk a little bit more about how that might be waning a bit. Control. Got a new date of August 27th, 2019. So this was originally shown for PlayStation's E3. I went through it. You're going into the Federal Bureau of Control. I forgot it there for a second. And you kind of have these psychic powers. You can throw stuff through telekinesis and stuff like that. Looks to be a very story-driven game, but with cool fighting mechanics and things like that. So I don't know where it came from. People got some hands-on and were starting talking about it around the actual release date coming out the other day. And this was actually yesterday. But there's a video posted on Reddit of some of the gameplay, which I think you guys can see here. And while I love the concept of throwing stuff around, shooting people, grabbing debris, using it as a shield, kind of throwing it and floating around, I don't know, the floating mechanic just looks a little off to me. I'm not sure what I really expected out of it. But I don't know. It just doesn't look that natural, I guess. Something just seems off. So
it reminds me of man, I'm like looking it up as I'm talking about it.
Infamous?
Yes, thank you.
I got the same exact feeling.
Yep. Thank you.
This sort of like hand sort of floaty.
Right.
Yep.
what game?
Infamous.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. I don't know. Infamous, though, even, I don't know. I felt like Infamous had those kind of like thruster things, so it kind of felt more real and like, I don't know. Grand stuff.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't like Superman style flight. It was more of like I'm Iron Man learning to fly in my basic
kind of
thing.
floating around.
That's a great way of putting it. That when he's first trying to learn and kind of balancing there, where this is looks
that's what this looks like.
A little too smooth, maybe, but
yeah. But it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's any power to it. It's just kind of like lazily floating off.
And yes, Control is an Epic exclusive for PC.
Wah.
So sorry about that, T-Gabs. But you can play it on PlayStation, because I know you have a PlayStation. But so yeah, exciting to get a date. Honestly, I thought Control was going to be a little further off, based on not hearing anything about it for quite a long time. And okay, I think we're going to get into the brunt of it here. PlayStation's Nintendo Direct. Bam. They had their State of Play Monday, March 25th, 2019. It was, I don't think those times are right, are they? Because it was I don't know what CET is. So it was 5 p.m. Eastern. I know because Mike and I happened to watch it at work. And
good job.
I mean, sorry, not at work. After hours
we
stuff.
were together.
We were together watching it. Yes, totally. So it was about 20 minutes long. I was very curious to see what it was going to be like, if it was going to be more like an Inside Xbox, if it was going to be like a Nintendo Direct, and then it ended up being a Nintendo Direct. So showed clips of games, showed dates on the screen, everything. It was a voiceover completely, no live broadcast, which they did say, and even this picture says live broadcast. So it's live in the fact that they posted it, I guess. I don't know how they define it as live. But they covered a ton of games. And, real quick, because it was such a Nintendo Direct, Nintendo was actually trending. Nintendo Direct was trending during this.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Backfire.
So,
when you Nintendo, better than Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. So I found that pretty fun. And we'll get into Xbox's Nintendo Direct after we go through State of Play here. So State of Play had a huge focus on VR. So it wasn't part of the State of Play, but numbers did recently come out that there's over 4 million PlayStation VR units sold, which isn't obviously a huge number compared to, like Spider-Man. Yeah, PlayStations or Spider-Man, even like a copy of Spider-Man sold however many millions. But still decent for the VR market. And which I don't understand, Beat Saber has only shipped 1 million copies worldwide. How are there not at least 4 million? Because who owns a PlayStation VR and doesn't own Beat Saber at this point? What's the point?
Yeah, well, PlayStation VR came out though a long time before Beat Saber, so
right. But then, what are you doing with your PlayStation VR if you've done a Beat Saber?
If you bought a PlayStation VR a year and a half ago, it's probably sitting in a box somewhere.
That's probably not wrong. Tales of Nerdia.
It's in a good spot now.
I was about to say, shout out to Tales of Nerdia.
Yeah.
So yeah, first thing it started with was Marvel's Iron Man VR, PlayStation exclusive. It sounds like done by Camouflage. It looks a little rough. I mean, it's a VR game. Any gameplay I see for VR, I always try to temper expectations because it does look a lot different when you're actually in VR. Like when I've done streams and stuff like that, it just does not, correlate quite the same. So we'll see. I'm kind of hoping based on this trailer that it's more of like a free-to-play experience thing because I can't imagine there's too much story or anything with it. But I don't know. We'll see.
There was a Batman one not too long ago. I don't know if it was actually for the PlayStation VR, but it was definitely Batman Origin. It was for PlayStation VR, and that one was cool. There wasn't like a ton you can do, but like you could be in the lab and you actually had to like draw blood samples and run it through a centrifuge and like move things around. And so that was really cool, sort of interacting with your base station in front of you.
And I want to say that one was free.
That vibe from this.
I think that one was free.
I don't remember.
Chat if you can check us on that one. Let's see. Then they go into Crash Team Racing. Or sorry, first of all, Marvel Iron Man PSVR coming in 2019. No specific date beyond that. Then they go into Crash Team Racing, which comes out June 21st. I didn't realize there was anything different from the reveal trailer, but apparently there is. It's also essentially alluded to Crash Nitro Kart will also have stuff included into this game. So there's that. I know my girlfriend is all about Crash Team Racing. She loved that more than Mario Kart, and we have the original CTR on a PlayStation disc in the next room hooked up to the TV that she plays Rugrats on.
Nice.
Yes. So they went from VR opening to Crash Team Racing, and then they just... Oh, actually, just kidding. Then they went to No Man's Sky Beyond VR. No Man's Sky Beyond. So No Man's Sky, and then Beyond, which is the DLC, free DLC that's going to be coming out this year. I think they said summer, but I don't actually have that anywhere.
I'm really looking forward to this one, by the way, as well. And I also looked up from No Man's Sky their actual website that it will be on the Vive as well.
That's
I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this actually, I think we were all kind of talking about this earlier as far as like this will get me back into No Man's Sky.
And if it's for the Vive and it's a multiplayer experience, I'm thinking squad mode in the middle of the galaxy.
Squad stream. So
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, definitely about this. This seems like a perfect opportunity for VR because it is a somewhat limited, I guess, play style and has a lot of opportunity, especially with the Vive, honestly. PlayStation VR I would have been a little meh on, but not that the PlayStation VR is bad, it's just Vive is superior.
It's not the same. Yep. It's really not, and that's not good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, PlayStation is owning the console VR market.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it's not a Vive.
They're the ones pumping money into and getting exclusives, which I think we'll talk about. Yeah, Blood and Truth, which looks amazing, but we'll see. Then we get out of VR briefly into Ready Set Heroes, which is a like a dungeon crawler couch co-op, but it's multiplayer. Actually, sorry, I might be talking about the wrong one.
No, you're right.
No, this is right.
It's a competitive dungeon crawler.
Yes, 2v2.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So 4 people go through the dungeon. It's you and a player versus another team, and you guys go through the dungeon together, and then it's winner takes all at the end. So you actually try to loot up as best as you can, and then when you get to the end of the dungeon, you guys battle each other.
Yeah,
I'm super excited about this. I was a huge Gauntlet fan in middle school and high school, having everybody come over and 4 players playing at the same time. This brings back a lot of those same feelings, a lot of the same memories. So I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, I think that'll be perfect squad mode. Looks like a fun, competitive
absolutely.
game. Okay, race at Heroes, and then we get back into PlayStation's VR focus. This one, which I hadn't actually heard of, so I'm not sure how I really missed this one. I think it was at E3 and stuff, I guess. But Blood and Truth looks like a very story-driven action VR game. Action/solving stuff and whatever, VR game. Done by Sony Interactive Entertainment, so clearly PlayStation exclusive. It's got that guy who's, I think, a famous actor. He looks like a famous actor at least. And that guy, I don't know his name, but
that guy. Shout out to that guy.
He's like that guy you see and stuff, but you never know his name. That guy.
He's the one. He's the guy.
So this looks intense and like a full game, which honestly that just hasn't been done a lot yet in VR. I mean, you get these short experiences, even Arizona Sunshine, something like that. It's like maybe 3 hours, and who knows? Maybe this is 3 hours and it's right there, but it looks like a much more narrative-driven action game, where all we've seen previously is either all narrative, you're not doing anything, or it's little bit kind of piecemeal action things strung together. So,
it's definitely the most fully fleshed out VR game that I've seen by the trailers for the PlayStation.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe the whole game is this friggin' trailer, and you just do these little clips here and there. But I don't know.
Maybe
I'm gonna be checking it out for sure. And that's available May 28th. Man, what good timing! Comes right up there. May 28th, 2019. So that's coming up real quick. So excited for that. I feel like we're not going through this nearly quick enough. Next. There's just a bunch of little games that they kind of go through. Just real quick, not super huge focuses. So, and I'm going to just go through them real quick too. Stop me if there's anything you want to talk about. A lot of these are already on Vive or Oculus, and are just making their way to PSVR. Sky World. It's kind of an RTS game. Falcon Age, where you have a falcon and do whatever you want. Ghost Giant. Never heard of that, but little boy Lewis builds trust by helping him overcome big obstacles in a heartwarming tale. That's cute. Okay. Table of Tales. Looks like a board game that you play in VR. Jupiter and Mars. This one, somebody was talking about. 2 different dolphins. It's kind of like Echo, and you do stuff through like echolocation. So they played tested it, thought it was really cool and unique, and we're going to check it out. That's coming out in like a month, less than a month, April 22nd. So I don't know, we'll see about it. Everybody's Golf VR. Tales of Nerdy, if you're in the chat, we're playing this shit because you're the one that got me into Everybody's Golf VR, and then nobody played it with me. So we should play that. Blood and Truth, which
Steve
we
Nedley
talked about.
says Falcon Age sounds Falcon awesome. And These Matos, it sounds like my worst nightmare. I assume you're talking about the Dolphin game, because if I remember correctly, Echo the Dolphin is your least favorite game of all time.
Man, I'd say a flashback actually to Echo the Dolphin in T-Geb's basement. That's weird. Okay. Moving on. Trover Saves the Universe. Apparently a super vulgar game. Co-creator of Rick and Morty.
That one I am looking forward to just because of that. And if you've ever played The Accountant, I think it's called, on VR for like Vive and stuff like that, hilarious game. Yep. You definitely should play that. So I'm hoping it's similar.
Oh man, it's not. We should stream that. We should stream that one.
That's great.
And this one is one you play with a controller too. So I've tended to actually like those more than I thought of the PSVRs with a controller type games. So. Mini Mech Mayhem. It's like, oh man, what is that BattleBot board game we've played?
Oh, Robo Rally.
Robo Rally, but in VR. that's pretty much it. Vacation Simulator from the creators of Job Simulator. So that was a fantastic game. And
PTO.
Yeah, exactly. PTO, you go there, forced vacation. And that game is, I'm assuming everybody's probably seen Job Simulator at this point, but if you haven't, search some videos on it. It is one of the best ways to just have somebody try VR and instantly pick it up and understand.
It's pretty much a VR staple. Like,
yeah,
you
definitely.
should have at least played that once.
Actually, I'm gonna save that one. So, talked about Falcon Age, Vacation Simulator. Yeah. Going on to next one, Observation, by Devolver Digital. So already right there, I'm kind of sold because I've loved everything they've been putting out. This is an interesting one. So it's kind of a space sci-fi thriller mystery from what I got out of it. And instead of being a character on the space station, you are the space station. So I don't quite know how that works, if you're just looking through cameras or what, but I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of story or you're solving something or...
Yeah, so the blurb on PlayStation.com says, Observation is a sci-fi thriller uncovering what happened to Dr. Emma Fisher and the crew of her mission through the lens of the station's artificial intelligence, Sam. So I think that you are kind of in control of the ship. You're going to be looking through different cameras at different parts of the ship and unraveling this story that's all sort of happening at the same time, and you're trying to piece it together. Weirdly enough, I've always kind of considered this to be like the next generation of movies, or how do you make movies better? It would be something like this, where things are kind of happening and you have to piece the movie together based on like what you're seeing at the time, and you kind of have to go back and watch a different piece in a different area. I think that's what this is going to be like. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably stream that one. It sounds like Be Scared. Steve Nedley saying you guys need to stream Silent Hill PT. So if you check out Tales of Nerdia's channel, he actually started streaming that, and then I believe gave up, and then these Bateaus actually got to play it. And I got to play it for a while he reacted to that. So definitely check that out. Tales of Nerdy on YouTube. Hilarious. Speaking of scary, Five Nights at Freddy's teaser trailer was pretty much enough for me. I'll play it again here, though. So another one, and looks terrifying. So I'm sure we'll stream it, and I'll have an anxiety attack. So... I'm going to just fast forward here to... Oh, wait, is this not... This might be the different trailer. Damn. But yeah, anyways, looks terrifying. And is there a date on that one? Spring 2019. So, upcoming very soon. Then we get Concrete Genie. Looks like a more creative story-based game. I was talking to Stretch. I just feel like they didn't quite commit to an art style. Just throws me a little off. Like they should have went a little more realistic. And then, as your recommendation, Stretch, was to have these like creatures come out and those be kind of drastically cartoony type art style. Versus this is kind of that weird mix of not quite cell shaded, not cartoony, not realistic, just odd. Like the faces, I don't know.
Yeah, it really is like the faces are just pasted on from a completely different story.
Yeah.
And then the creatures don't really feel like they quite fit either. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and maybe it'll grow on me when I actually play it, but I'm not.
Yeah,
it just feels weird.
Yep. Definitely not one that I was instantly sold on. But this one is non-VR and then VR capable as well. So, got an interesting dynamic there.
Shout out to ADev. ADev, you're way past your bedtime, so we appreciate you watching as always.
Appreciate it, ADev.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, it's in chat, bro.
Think about it. Think about it. Who's asking?
Oh, damn it.
Think about it, John.
I kept looking for the name ADev, and I wasn't looking for somebody saying the word ADev. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Yeah, ADev. appreciate it. Get your own account and sub.
Also, literally never called them a dev before.
That's a first. That is a first. Usually it's boss. Next, Days Gone. Non-VR, in case those of you don't know what Days Gone is. So, zombie survival, mass story, single-player game. Coming out April 26th. So
yeah, this game's been delayed
1 month away
before.
Yeah.
And I've played a lot of like DayZ and zombie type games. I'm looking forward to this, but the longer it goes on, the more I'm like skeptical that it's actually going to be really good. If you guys remember in one of the E3 trailers, it was really good looking. They had looked like 100 zombies chasing this dude through like a barn and going through. The game looks really well done, but I hope it actually lives up to what it shows.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Force Inept about this earlier this week. The one thing I like about this trailer, this is the first time I think we've got a sense of how in-depth the story's going to be. And with it being Sony Interactive Entertainment, I'm really hoping for another Last of Us type adventure here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, they show in the story as far as like, okay, you don't want to take down a camp, you can lead this horde of zombies into the camp to do all the hard work for you, stuff like that, which is cool. And again, like you just said, it's more story focused on this trailer, which is what I appreciate. And honestly, can you think of a major Sony Interactive game that's come out recently that has not been just amazing?
Yeah, they're on a hot streak, that's for sure.
So, I mean, see them continue, but even if it's mediocre for them, I still feel like that's going to still be a pretty high up there, 8 or 9 on, like Metacritic for type of game. So we'll see. I'm not drawn to this character just based on the looks and, being fucking, what's his name from Walking Dead? Daryl. Because
a little bit.
I just have not.
Yeah, I see it. He's a fan favorite, and same like got my motorcycle and doing my own badass thing. Like,
yeah. And I really just never connected to that character, so I'm a little kind of not off-put, but as far as that, but at the same time, I have faith in Sony Interactive, so. And I love zombies. I mean, shit. I was going to probably play this game.
They are the best.
They're the best. Let's see. Next, Dick Punches, Mortal Kombat 11. Could not find a good gif of this in short order. But they did Mortal Kombat 11 official Johnny Cage character reveal trailer, where he pretty much just goes up and punches this guy in the dick after some fighting and stuff.
This guy, that's Cabal, bro.
Dude, I don't know. It's been like since Mortal Kombat 2 that I have really played a Mortal Kombat game, which I'm excited they've got multiple timelines with this and they reset it all. Actually, Stretch, was it you? We were talking about this.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, they reset it in Mortal Kombat X. So.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, I have not been, I'm not a huge fighter game guy besides like Super Smash Bros. And then I have not played one of these for apparently at least 9 Mortal Kombats. So we'll see. But all the memes of this guy just Mondays be coming in like, and then it's just a dick punch. Those have been great. Couldn't find one when I wanted it, but have seen them all over my Instagram. So,
fun fact. I'm going to just tell a little story here. Johnny Cage is based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Mortal Kombat game was actually supposed to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme fighting game. And when they were working out the logistics with Jean-Claude Van Damme, he didn't quite understand what was being asked and refused to give his rights. And so they ended up rolling it into Mortal Kombat, but Johnny Cage kept the same initials, JC, and he's also a movie star to kind of represent Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
It's also why he does the split punch kick, because that's split punch. That's it's a Johnny Cage, not Johnny Cage, a Jean-Claude Van Damme classic. Take that home with you.
There we go. Now nice. I know. Appreciate that. If you want more insightful news like that, follow and subscribe. So, Mike, I assume you're going to be playing this?
Yeah, probably. I did play Mortal Kombat X and I played Mortal Kombat XL. I really am enjoying the sort of revamp that they've done. It feels very good. Yeah, I think I'll probably pick it up and play quite a bit.
What you, Deion?
I probably won't pick it up, but I do like these styles. So, like, if Mike brought it for squad mode, I'd definitely be down for it. I like styles like this. I like the Injustice series and stuff like that. Like, I like those fighting games. It's been a while since I played. I think I played Mortal Kombat X. I was more into Tekken at the time, but all in all, yeah, I do like these fighting games. So they're a lot of fun.
Gotcha. And
I believe Injustice was actually the same engine as this one.
I thought so.
The fighting is very, very similar.
That's one thing I've heard in Injustice, and especially Injustice 2. I guess they have really good storylines too. So that's
not a bad campaign. I actually one of the few games that I actually beat. But because it's just like, oh, cutscene, cool cutscene, kick ass, right. And then another cutscene, kick ass. So I can do that.
That's fair. This will probably be one I rent. Just not my style game, but everybody's been pretty hyped for it, so I do want to check it out. Kind of like Sekiro, shouts that twice, that I will not play long, but I will definitely rent it and give it a shot because everybody's raving about it, everybody loves it, but I will rage so hard and return it probably. So.
I picked up my copy this afternoon.
Nice.
It is installed. Nice, Platinum Grind is coming.
Hell yeah. Keep following us for Sredge's Platinum Grind, where he counts how many times he dies.
So many times.
So many deaths. Let's see. And yeah, that was really it for State of Play. Just quick note, they didn't say how often they're going to do this. They did say more throughout the year. So, presuming maybe once a quarter, or it's like Nintendo Direct where they just do whatever the fuck they want. So. And normally we put this at the free games, but since we're talking about PlayStation so much, PlayStation Plus free games for April have been announced. Is going to be Surge and Conan Exiles. Surge is kind of like the sort of mech exosuit fighting style game. I don't know, never really heard much about it, but looks cool. And for a free game, I'll definitely be checking it out. Looks like a lot of customization and stuff like that. Then Conan Exiles, which I'd never heard anything about except that you can play a fully nude character, and that was kind of the only news I ever heard about the game. So I really don't know anything about this one.
Yeah, it's think of Rust or any of those type of like open world games where you just build and you interact with other players and stuff like that. You don't have anything, and then you kind of get gear, craft, and all that stuff. I watched some streamers play it a while back. It came to PC like a long time ago. It's like, again, it's like Rust or what's the Ark? Like Ark. It's the same type of dealio, but in the Conan universe.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, is it multiplayer?
Yes,
it is multiplayer. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Steve pointing out that yes, I do have some names incorrect on there. My mistake on that. I'm gonna just go ahead and hide those right now.
Yeah, I'm the new mic.
Thank you. Yep.
I mean,
left that from last week when Deion betrayed us by getting married.
He did it on purpose. I heard.
Sorry,
did it on purpose. Son of a bitch. And then. Sorry guys for the agenda. I did have it a little off, but the next Nintendo Direct was done by Xbox. That was ID at Xbox. They only 13 minutes long. I have not watched it. They only talk over 3 games, which are After Party, Void Bastards, and Supermarket Shriek, all coming to Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, I got nothing.
I don't know. With so many big things like sort of in the wings for Xbox, I'm surprised that they didn't really use this as an opportunity to talk about any of those things.
Oh shit! This actually
maybe
is
they're
Killer Queen.
Maybe they're holding off for E3.
Yeah, it could be. I'm sorry, I'm actually watching this now. And Killer Queen, clearly they talk about. I'm not sure if that's going to be on Xbox Games Pass or not. But that was actually kind of funny. Did a party mode of that like around E3. I think they got to play it and said it's an amazing like quick party game. So might have to be something we check But I did find it interesting. So this is on the official Xbox YouTube channel. It was posted yesterday, so yes, it's only been a day. But 44,000 views. When you go to PlayStation, theirs has 225,000 views. Their PlayStation Europe one has 100,000 views. And then I even noticed Concrete Genie has 60,000 views. So, like, Xbox. I didn't even know this was a thing until I just happened to see an article on it. And I know, Mike, you'd posted in the agenda. I was like, didn't even know that was a thing happening. So, come on, Xbox. Step up your marketing game because...
Yeah. I wonder, though, like we talked about last week with Stadia and all that stuff, if they're just kind of like laying low and letting everybody else do their thing rather than trying to compete and let them get their news out, and then they're going to hit us with something fresh.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's a fair point because Xbox is not pushing those, big Xbox titles. I mean, they're doing a great job with Games Pass. Games Pass is becoming, I think, increasingly the number one actual kind of games as a service type provider. But they don't have those titles like PlayStation just went out and listed, a bunch of exclusives. Even if they're not super big ones besides like Days Gone, they're still big ones where I feel like Xbox doesn't quite have that. So yeah, it's a great point. They might be kind of laying low. Here's our service. This is why it's continuing to get better, but not making a huge deal out of it, like overstating their impact.
Right, because we know they've got stuff. We know that they've got their streaming service ready to go. We know that they've got their integration with Nintendo and the Switch going so they can do Xbox Live and the Nintendo Switch. They're not really pushing any of those buttons yet, which kind of makes me feel like they're just holding their cards, not necessarily that they don't have things to talk about.
Yeah. I really hope there's some games though behind that. I mean, there's been some like they did I think it was like the last E3 where they did a little Halo thing, like, but we don't know anything about that yet. There's definitely, like Mike said, there's definitely some stuff behind the scenes. I'm ready. Like, I have an Xbox and I haven't used it to play games in a long time. I've done the Game Pass. I've done that, and obviously I have Xbox Live. But it's look at what you said about all the Sony Interactive games that have come out, and there hasn't been anything like that for Microsoft. So, waiting for that.
Yeah, I mean, I got my Xbox 3 weeks ago, probably, and I have played some Forza because I got that for free, but besides that, all I've used it is for streaming, and then
did you watch Into the Spider-Verse?
4K UHD Into the Spider-Verse, which
nice,
fucking amazing.
Nice. You didn't invite us over? What the?
No, like I was gonna wait till the weekend to watch it, but then I watched it immediately. So then,
I was gonna wait as I put the disc into the tray, and
oops, I played it.
It's so good.
It's so good. But actually, that is one thing. Should definitely have you guys over watch that. It's so good. And speaking of the Xbox I just bought, the Xbox One S, reportedly Microsoft is going to.
I did that on purpose, by the way. I just want you to appreciate the transition.
I appreciate
the disc into the tray.
Just that volleying it up and then just letting me spike down that transition. Microsoft's discless Xbox One S, which is literally the entire reason I bought an Xbox One S was for the disc, is reportedly launching May 7th. No pricing. I've heard a lot of speculation about it being $100. And if they could do that...
$100?
$100.
No way.
And then you do... That's what people are hoping for. 100,
You're telling me
maybe $150.
Out of all the hardware in the machine, you're telling me the disc tray, which is typically $20 for a PC, is going to be $100 less for the Xbox.
For a 4K UHD player?
Fair.
I was going to say, it's not a CD-ROM. And
fair.
That's why I bought...
but even a Blu-ray player on PC, like, if you're talking real, like, specs. Like, I have a Blu-ray player. Well,
4K UHD.
4K, though.
No, because the only reason I bought an Xbox One S is because it was only $20 more expensive than the Sony 4K UHD player I was looking at. And that was not like a high tier one either. That was like a mid tier one. So if they're taking that out,
$100.
100 seems low. I agree. I think 150 though is doable. $150. It's a 1 terabyte. You get 3 digital games on it, all cheap. Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, Forza is what they're saying, and then you get everybody on Games Pass. That's where you sell it.
Yeah, exactly. They monetize the Game Pass because you can't fucking buy discs. You're gonna have to do something.
Exactly.
That's true, and I mean that's a good point because you're gonna start to leverage your services more, and then future consoles are right around the corner too, right? So you're like leading people into the next thing.
Yeah,
exactly. That's fair. You take the hit now, but you lead them into that service.
Right.
Yeah, you know, $150 to $200. I'll pick one.
200 is too much because Xbox One S with a disc, I paid $215, $210.
You get that on sale,
I got Forza. I don't think it was on sale on Amazon, but it wasn't that much on sale. It's just like
I mean, how big is your hard drive in it?
Terabyte.
It's a 1 terabyte.
Yeah. So I mean, they're getting reasonable, and I think Xbox needs this because PlayStation. I mean, this generation PlayStation slaughtered Xbox, and Xbox needs this to start recouping people, getting people they haven't gotten, people in other markets besides the US. I mean, I really don't hear about Xbox anywhere else, really.
That's fair. Well, because, you sell games based off of, or you sell your consoles based off of the games and based off of the bundles, right? Look at all the great bundles you can get with PlayStation. Oh, I can get God of War, or, like a
Monster Hunter and shit, yeah.
They don't have exclusives like that. Like, yeah, sure, you can get like a Red Dead bundle, but so can PlayStation. Yeah.
Does Game Pass come with Xbox Gold? Or get paid for Xbox Gold?
It's a separate fee. It's a separate fee. So you get
Game Pass is $10 a month plus Xbox Gold is $60 a year, similar to PlayStation.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So they're going to make their money back. They're going to make their money back real quick.
And Xbox was already talking. I think we talked about it. It's probably quite a few episodes ago now. But as far as doing the installation payments, like leasing out an Xbox type thing, they were already talking about that.
I forgot about that.
So, I think this is a kind of parallel move to that of trying to get people into this market, no matter what it takes. So, we'll see. We shall see. Moving on. Oh shit, run out of time. Nintendo didn't do a Nintendo Direct when everybody else did. They didn't. But allegedly,
amateurs.
From a report from the Wall Street Journal, Nintendo has plans for 2 new Switch models, a cheaper option and an enhanced feature option. So that's about all they know. But
I heard rumors that the cheaper one may remove the vibration features and some of that stuff. I don't know what the more enhanced one will have. Would you guys pick it up?
No.
No.
It's funny because my daughter has fallen in love with my Switch, and
she's
still a little young for a console. But I'll move it down to her playroom or something and get one, especially if it has a bigger like internal memory, maybe a little bit bigger screen or something like that.
Yeah, I'd be very curious about the enhanced because right now the screen resolution is something
like
weird.
900p.
Yeah, it's like 900, 920 or something like that.
Yeah,
so
it's odd.
If they got a better screen and when you dock it, which honestly I rarely ever dock my Switch,
but they take it to 1080 or something.
Yeah, take it to 1080 or I don't know if it could ever do 1440 or something 4K, like that. Like the type of games I play on Switch don't need that better resolution. That's just not what I've been playing on the Switch. I play indie games on the Switch primarily, or party games, and not like super graphical party games because it's a Switch. It's not why you buy a Switch. So I'm curious to see what the enhanced is going to bring, because it's still going to have to play the same games all the other ones do. And even if you upscale any of those games, it's not going to upscale that much, I feel like. So,
yep.
We'll see. But if they can do a cheaper model, I think it's a great idea.
Just like they did the 2DS, getting something out there that,
Let's see. This is a quick one just because I put it there because, wow, what a world we live in. Final Fantasy XIV as a new update. The new races, though, are gender-locked. How dare they? The rabbit-eared race, Vieira, are only females. Because bunnies can't have... Never mind. I really... Just
makes sense now. Now that I read the agenda, I was like, "What the heck is this?"
You mean bunnies can't have dicks? Wasn't a good enough title for you?
No, I mean it is now. It definitely is.
I think it's interesting though, especially like in our political climate, knowing like so we just did character creation in
Division.
Division, right? And instead of saying select your gender, it says select your body style. So it's interesting how like some game companies are choosing to handle a very sensitive topic versus other games. Now, Division is made here in the United States, and Final Fantasy is traditionally made in Japan, and so maybe it's a cultural thing between the two. I don't know.
Yeah, the
bunnies are women.
Japanese don't want to see male bunnies running around in skimpy bunny suits. All they want is skimpy bunny women. So they came up with Hrothgar, which is a male-locked warrior cat-like race. But then, of course, because people are very passionate about their lore and things like that, Vieira, because of lore, have to be female only for some.
So that's
couldn't tell
that's
you
how
why.
you get them with the lore.
That's the lore. But Hrothgar, there are female, so now this is a double slap in the face because they're both gender locked, and that one's just gender locked because the other one is. Oh my God, controversy, everyone! This is the world we live in. Bunnies can't. Okay. Next, which I might start moving up closer to Anthem in the news. Battlefield 5 Firestorm. Tractors, helicopters. Of just an abysmal mess from what I played. Yeah, it's not good at all.
I was hoping that this would.
Royale?
Yeah. I was hoping that this would be okay. We saw this coming, right? With you know, with how well Apex was doing, they kept delaying this. Like it just we knew this wasn't going to be good, but it sucks. It sucks that Battlefield 5, the Battlefield series is really good as far as team-based multiplayer games, but they tried to hop on this train and it did not work for Battlefield.
Yep. If they had come out with it when they launched Battlefield 5 in September, October, whatever it was, I think it would have held up better because right then it was really the more realistic Battle Royale at that point was
They were
PUBG.
too scared of Call of Duty at that time.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yep.
Call of Duty, from what I've played, is much better than this. It's much faster paced and interactive. This is very much Battlefield on this giant, beautiful map. Don't get me wrong, like the effects and landscape are beautiful. Yep. But it's a Battlefield game with those type of weapons. You want to continuously be running into battle, getting mowed down and respawning and going in. You don't want a slower paced game, which then you get sniped. The most fun we had playing this game was when the firestorm would be coming at us and we just kept yelling Dante's Peak and running away or driving away from it, only to usually get sniped by somebody because snipers are just always a thing in Battlefield. And even after one round, some of the guys I was playing with like, can we not even play this anymore? Can we go back to Apex Legends? And we gave it some more rounds, try it out, but none of us really have that drive to go back, at least right now. Like, Deion, I know you have Battlefield 5, so like if I encourage you to play it and I'll play it with you. I got some kills. The shotgun seemed super overpowered. Also, the tank seemed super overpowered when all you have is a shotgun. So it's it's real weird. And just it just is like, okay, I'd rather just play regular Battlefield 5 than play the Firestorm version. And
every game doesn't need a battle royale. We gotta stop.
Yep.
We gotta
Hop
stop
off the train.
And if they'd done it right at the start, I think again it would have held up. But when you have Apex Legends coming out almost 2 months ago at this point, and just setting the bar so high, this comes out and it just looks like a half-assed, incomplete game. This clip of Shroud playing, he got rezzed. Oh, why is it not playing? He got rezzed, and then he got stuck in this like upside down prone movement, and then had to play like that. He couldn't even shoot correctly. He could shoot, but it wouldn't go where it looked like he was aiming at. And the worst part is apparently they actually went on and won this round. But because fucking Shroud. Yeah, it's just, it feels like a glitchy, incomplete game. And EA just missed the mark. They should have just cut this. Again, looked beautiful. It's a new map, all that stuff. The fires does make you feel that panic of the circle, unlike Apex Legends and stuff, where it's like, okay, the circle's there, we'll take damage or whatever. This makes you feel like, holy shit, we need to get going. But it just doesn't feel like a complete game for being delayed and delayed and delayed. And
there's no excuse for that when you delay it that long. That's the reason why you delayed it, right? To
well,
make sure that it would be right.
And that's the worst thing, because they always said that's not the reason why they delayed it. They delayed it to not compete with their other games or whatever. But then Apex Legends comes out, and this comes out, and it still comes out incomplete. So
you gotta take a page out of Blizzard's book and be like, look, this game is not gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just gonna have to step away.
We fucked up.
Because this is garbage. And it did way more damage than it's gonna do good.
Yep, definitely. Moving on to a real Battle Royale game, and I think still our current favorite game at this point, Apex Legends. Season 1, again, is live. We are in week 2 of it, so if you are playing, your Hero Battle Pass weekly limits have now gone up, which is weird. They didn't reset it down to 0. It went up from 25,000 XP cap to now 50,000 XP cap for every player.
Ooh.
So it is a progressive thing, which I did not think that's how they would be doing it. But
that's awesome, though, because if you forgot to play Lifeline or whatever, you can go back now and grind her out. That's really cool.
Yeah, so very cool way of doing it. Yeah.
I know what I did.
I do love me some Jamaican healers. And actually, Mike, I think you put this one in there if you want to talk about it. I only knew about the leak of the new character, but it looks like you have a little bit more.
Yeah, so the Battle Pass had an advert that was put on the PlayStation Store, and it included some information that was probably not supposed to be shared. The advert had referenced a new weapon as well as a second character. It said, quote, 2 new characters will launch over the course of this season, but in the meantime, look out for a new weapon set to launch as the season progresses. So they've already announced a second character and a new weapon. It then goes on to say 2 new items will be introduced during the season that will offer something new and innovative to the strategic mix. So, whoops, that was obviously pulled down pretty quickly. But I think that's pretty exciting. I know when the Battle Pass was first announced, people were looking, and there were actually duplicate items as you progress through the levels. You'd get the same kill count for Gibraltar as you would at level 18, and then again at level 38 or something. And people had speculated that those were placeholders, and then they didn't want to reveal that there may be another character.
Gotcha.
So I think that's in line with this. Yeah, so I would expect those rewards to change later on.
Yeah, I'm excited. Octane's fun. He seems like he's balanced and not my main by any means, but he's a fun character to get around and play with, and damages himself but heals. It's pretty good balance. I like it.
Yep. The character that people think is going to be released is named Watson, and they pulled this from literally zooming in on the text on the newspaper clippings that are there and trying to look at blurry shadows in the background and then obviously some stuff from the data. Watson appears to be an electrical themed character that uses Tesla coils to set up traps, probably similar to
Caustic style. Gotcha.
So yeah,
cool.
We'll see. Sounds like it'll be a fun character.
And then I put this in there because I think it was you, Deion, that posted it, but the Onion article, Apex Legends players finally getting good enough to make game impossible for average people to enjoy. I wish I was one of those people, but I am more and more, I feel like the average. I know we played a couple games last night and just got destroyed as normies. Yeah, just wrecked real bad. Speaking of which, are we playing this after? We
can play some of this. We could play.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we can play this. We can play Overwatch. We can play whatever. I'm down.
Okay. We'll figure it out, chat. If you have a preference, Overwatch, Division 2, or Apex Legends, Division 2 will need a little lead time on, but let us know. Play it after.
Yeah.
Speaking of Division 2, I'm only level 14, have not progressed much since last week, but Metacritic score still looking strong, 85 for PC, so just continuing to be great. As Pharaoh mentioned above in the chat, the first piece of DLC is coming out next week, so 2 weeks after launch, so pretty cool. They seem to be doing it right. I haven't really heard many complaints about it at all, and killing the game. On to April 5th. Okay, so
That's what
next
Pharaoh just said.
Friday?
Wow, soon.
Yeah. Not this
Yeah,
Friday, the following
awesome.
Friday. Cool.
Next Friday, yeah.
On to esports. Overwatch League. Vancouver Titans win stage 1. Good for them. Florida Mayhem came in 19th out of 20.
Thanks.
Stage 2, though. There's always hope. There's not really for them. But stage 2 starts next Thursday, April 4th. With Philadelphia Fusion and New York Excelsior kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday, April 5th, though, is the first game for Florida Mayhem at 7 p.m. against London Spitfire. So I will be checking that game out and then probably being sad at how badly they lose, probably 4-0. But
Yeah, quick note. John, remember I was messaging you and it was in the DR and flipping through the channels, and I think it was ABC.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Overwatch League on cable on ABC. I think that the gamers were like super confused on the internet about what was going on, but it was really cool just to like, that's where we are as a, you know, as a community of gamers. Like cable, like large cable companies are, you know, playing Overwatch League and other stuff. So it was really cool to see that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Twitter was an interesting mix of opinions of what the fuck is going on, why is this happening, nerds get out, etc. But yeah, very cool, and even funnier that you're in the DR watching it.
I know, I was flipping the channel, I was like, oh,
that's awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, so pretty cool. And actually, which I'm kind of upset about, Monday night, I think it was, Florida Mayhem was actually in Orlando. They were at the Orlando Magic game, and they were doing some like stuff beforehand, doing autographs and stuff. And I literally got home kind of late, was looking at it, and I was like, son of a bitch. Like, I would have went down there for it just because, I mean, want to get into that crowd more and stuff like that. But so
slap high fives of mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we do stuff. And actually, apparently, Orlando Magic has a professional gaming team for NBA 2, one of the NBA games. I'm not sure if it's 2K or EA or whatever, but
that's probably 2K.
Probably 2K. That's the only
the better one.
Yeah. So it was those two like esports teams coming together and watching the game and stuff like that. And they actually played each other in their respective games and posted like the scores, and the Florida Mayhem scored like 10 points total on the whatever their team is, the Orlando Magic esports team, and they scored like 150 or something like that. It was just like some decimation. But then they played Overwatch. It was, you know, just right face too. So pretty funny. Cool that they're doing that and, you know, trying to just promote esports out there to even the people that aren't used to it. So
yeah.
And then I don't really have an image for this one, but deals of the week for Epic Games Store as a reminder, Oxenfree is free March 21st through April 4th. Then following that will be The Witness, April 4th through April 18th.
The Witness was PlayStation Plus free game 2 months ago, maybe? Or maybe it was last month?
Yeah, that sounds right. Actually, that might have been this month.
I don't
know.
Maybe
recently.
This month.
Recently.
Yeah, it was recent. Yep, this year. For sure.
So, there you go. And that is it for the news, unless you guys got anything else.
No, that was a lot.
That was a lot. Thanks for sticking with us, chat. I know we went over our normal time of about an hour. Real quick, where are we playing? I'm playing Apex motherfucking Legends, as always. Season 1. I did cap out Lifeline and Octane last week and was about halfway through Pathfinder. Now there's a reset, so I'm back to Lifeline, and we'll probably go to Octane after that. I did pick up Hollow Knight for the Nintendo Switch, so I've been playing that really just casually, kind of at night before bed and stuff like that. So I'm only maybe a couple hours in, and I've died a lot. It's a hard game, but it's really cool. And then Division 2, again, not playing as much as I like because of Apex Legends, but still really enjoying it. And looking forward to Deion and Mike here getting into it, so they both installed it and ready to squad up.
Squad up.
Where are you guys playing?
So obviously Apex Legends quite a bit this week. Also Mario Kart 8. So my daughter's 4. This was her first real video game. I picked it up for her last weekend. we've literally played it every single day since then.
That's
She
awesome.
wakes me up in the mornings before I take her to the sitter. She's like, "Daddy, wake up! We gotta play Mario Kart."
That's awesome.
So that's been a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of that. Division 2, purchased, downloaded, character created, and I'm ready to sink my teeth into that. And then Sekiro, Heroes Die Twice. I'll be kicking off my new show here on the Slightly Salted Squad channel called Platinum Grind, where I work through a bunch of PlayStation games, specifically Platinum Hunting, and Sekiro is going to be the first one that I jump into. I got some artwork done by some... Yeah, we'll see what happens. Some cool artwork done by some of the local artists here in the area to help spice up the channel a little bit. I'm really excited to get started.
Very cool. And also,
Nice.
real quick, T-Gabs, Bethesda on Steam, that was the second thing we talked about. We referenced you a lot, so you are quite welcome.
A whole lot.
But if you want to watch it, T-Gabs, tune into our YouTube tomorrow and check out that vid.
Or catch us on CastBox.
There it is.
All the things.
All the things.
Okay, Deion, what did you play in the Dominican Republic?
I played some rum and cokes. I played some
Such a good
pina
one.
coladas, some unlimited food and booze. I gained so much weight. But I'm happy that I'm back. Gonna do the same thing as Mike Mike's gonna do the platinum grind. I'm gonna play Sekiro, and I'm gonna try to just have less deaths than whatever Mike's total count is. So that's my goal.
It won't be hard, I'm sure.
So I'm really excited to play that, though. I'm a weeb when it comes to samurai stuff, so looking forward to that a lot. And then really that in Division 2. I'm trying not to play a ton of games. So it's like Apex, Division 2, and Sekiro, and that's it. I want to just stick to that and just hit those as I go through. So
Good call. Well, cool. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. This, again, has been episode 20 of This Week in Gaming for March 27th, 2019. And stick around. We'll be playing some, it sounds like Apex Legends? Yeah.
I think it's Apex Legends.
Okay, some Apex Legends in just a few minutes here. So, till then, stay salted.
Bye.
Bye.